Hi, I'm Sloan Dixon. I'm a sophomore at Panther Creek High School, and I've been driving a race car since 7th grade in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. My Bandolero is a 5/8 size car based on the cars you see at Daytona or Charlotte Motor Speedway for NASCAR. The car is made by INEX, which stands for Inexpensive Racing. INEX is based right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. INEX regulates the cars and sanctions the races. They have two major classes, Bandoleros or Bandos, which I drive, and Legends, which is the next class up for INEX. Let me show you a little bit about the car. It's 11 foot long and 4 foot side to side. It has a tube frame, a 650cc Briggs & Stratton engine, and a centrifugal clutch. Because the clutch is fixed, I only have two pedals, the accelerator and the coward pedal. All the tracks we run at run a restrictor plate to limit horsepower. We usually get about 15 horsepower, which can get me to about 60 miles per hour after a lap or two. For safety, I have this helmet, a 5-point harness, a neck restraint system, a fire suppression system, this fire suit, and the steel in this car is made from the same stuff that are in NASCAR Cup cars. I'm safer in this car driving in a race than I am in my dad's truck on the way to the race. When I started racing, I was in the faster car in the group. Actually, I was one of the slowest.
Before we get a talk, two caution laps already, and only one lap done. Here we go.
But then I started practicing more. I also learned how to set up my car better from the dad of another driver, Mr. Johnson. His son Ethan is the #1 Bando driver in North Carolina this year. One other thing I did was an experiment using a Raspberry Pi. I hooked up a GPS sensor to the Pi, and then started running laps around my local track. We got a bunch of data, and my brother and dad analyzed to see where I was bleeding speed. With this knowledge, practice, and Mr. Johnson's help, my times went from awful to quite respectable. For example, I went from 18 seconds and dead last at Wake County Speedway at the beginning of this year to 16 seconds in qualifying 6 of 15 in my last race. Here's the start of that race. I got wrecked in turn 2, but still managed to come back and get into 5th place until I was wrecked for good on lap 13.
A little bit of a mix-up now. 8 places, Jacob. All right. And Charlotte just like that, we're on the way. Take care of it. Oh, I did it. Service master restored caution and big wreck. Turn 2 there.
Oh well, Robin's racing. I'm so thankful I got into racing, and I think it's the greatest sport in the world. I've learned so much about driving fast and smart, as well as learning how cars and engines work. Also, I have learned how to make cars faster and more efficient. Finally, I've learned how to apply some of the math from high school to be a more effective driver. For example, here's a recent race at East Carolina Speedway.
You can see in this clip that as we come around the corner, the number 3 car is much farther ahead of me, number 4. But as we come around the corner, I duck underneath him using those angles we were talking about, allowing me to pass him and eventually finish the race ahead of him.
I will be moving up to the Chargers class next year. And there's no way I could step into a V8 full-size car without racing Bandas first. Also, I'm thinking of taking my knowledge of mechanics and my love of racing to college. I'm not sure where or how yet, but I'm definitely going to be building, racing, and wrecking when I get there. That's it. If you have any questions, follow me on Twitter and I'll get back to you. Hopefully, I will see some of you on the track next year.